So then in speaking of the 5 faults for developing serenity, then the second one is forgetting the object of meditation. So what this means is that you can't stay on your object of meditation, okay? And so the antidote to that is mindfulness. Yeah. Now you might wonder, why does it say forgetting the object of meditation? Well, the word mindfulness, or sati, actually means to remember. So a lack of mindfulness would be forgetfulness, okay? So it doesn't just mean like, oh, I forgot that I'm meditating on white Tara. It doesn't mean that. It means when you sit down to meditate and you try and focus on your object of meditation, be it white Tara or the breath or, you know, whatever your object of meditation is, that your mind doesn't stay on it, okay? So I think you're all very familiar with this one. Okay, so that's why it's very important at the beginning of our meditation session, yeah, to first of all know what our object of meditation is. You know, to have a very clear idea of what we're meditating on. Yeah, if you just sit down and say, well, what shall I meditate on today? You know, it's going to be hard to focus your mind on something because you're probably still going to be making up your mind about what you're going to meditate on. Yeah? So that's why I recommend, even if you're doing Lam Rim meditation, where you're not developing stabilizing meditation by just one object because you're thinking about an object, but even you're doing that with your analytic meditation on the Lam Rim, you need to know what topic you're gonna meditate on, okay? And you need to know when you go in there what practice you're gonna do, yeah? And so then when you put your object, your mind on the object, you know what you're putting it on, you have a clear idea, okay? And then you also have to make a strong determination to put your mind on that object. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I've noticed I can sit down and then, okay, I'm going to meditate on the breath and just start breathing, and then the mind goes off immediately. Well, that's because there was no real determination to keep the mind on the object. And it was just like, okay, well, I'll do this meditation, whatever, so sit down and start breathing. But, you know, you're not sure what meditation you're doing. There's no motivation to put it on the object. There's no determination, okay? So then very easily the mind gets distracted, yeah? And so it's important when we sit down just to say, okay, I'm going to do this meditation, I'm going to focus on this object, you know, I'm going to do my best to keep my mind on the object. Yeah. This does not mean pushing. Repeat, folks. Yeah, this does not mean pushing. I remember one time, many years ago, I went to a school in Mexico with like little kids, and they wanted to learn to meditate. So we sat them down and had them close their eyes and, you know, and just watch their breath. And one little girl was sitting there. Now, I see some of you sit like that even when you're listening to teachings, let alone when you're meditating. You know, I won't mention who, but your brows are a little bit like this. Even you're listening to teaching, you know, like this. You know, and so if you like that when you're listening to teaching, what's it like to meditate? You know, so that kind of mind, a mind that's tight, is going to go off the object immediately, because it's too tight. You know, it's too tight. So you have to have a very relaxed mind. But as I always emphasize when we do the body scan and relax all the various parts of our body before we start meditating, that you can be relaxed and firm at the same time. That firm does not mean tight, and relaxed does not mean sloppy, okay? Yeah? So really check this out, you know. And I suggest putting, you know, rubbing here a little bit and making sure you're not, you know, narrowing, you know, because you may do it unconsciously, but it's symptomatic of, you know, kind of trying too hard and keeping your mind too tight. Yeah? So you remember the object in a very nice, easy, gentle way. Okay?